y'all. My name is Shula. Welcome to my channel, Hooked on Houseplants, where I invite you to get hooked on houseplants too. So today we are going to be doing some repotting. Yes, finally, you heard me correctly. I'm going to do some repotting, and I'm going to do a little bit of chit-chatting, of course. This video might be all over the place because I kind of feel disorganized a little bit because I think I've only done like one other repotting video, so bear with me. Okay, so first, what do I want to do first? Well, first of all, I want to show y'all the self-watering pots that I have been loving from Amazon. I don't know what it is about the design of this pot. To me, it just looks sleek. I don't know why, that's just my opinion, but I have been loving these things. This is my Aglaonema peacock, and it's growing very nicely. When I got this plant, it was small, and it's growing really nicely. And I mentioned to you all before that I have been slowly but surely converting a lot of my plants to self-watering setups. That's just something that I prefer to do with my plants. Not recommending that you do the same, but the fact of the matter is, like right now it's 88 degrees out here. Humidity is 48%. So, of course, even with self-watering pots, obviously you have to remember to refill them. But I feel like it gives me a little bit more leeway. Because before, what was happening was my plants were drying out. I don't really consider myself an overwaterer. So my plants were drying out, and then when I would go to water them, they would develop root rot because I had waited too long. They were, almost all of my plants at one point were in a chunky mix. Okay, and nothing's wrong with a chunky mix because actually most of my Hoya are in a chunkier mix as well as self-watering. But when your plants are in a hot environment, you got them in a chunky mix and they dry out. That's just a recipe for not only disaster, but a recipe for dry rot. Okay, so self-watering pots have been a lifesaver for me. No, I don't rush and like, oh no, the pot ran out of water, let me go. No, it's not like that. Like with Aglaonema or plants like this, I mean, it's not, I actually kind of let them sit before I refill. And I check the potting mix first to see if they're dry. And if they feel dry, then yes, I will go ahead and refill them. But yeah, I am loving the self-watering pots. Now, my begonia, now you know begonia already are thirsty. They're very thirsty. And so with them out here, it's 88 degrees. Like I have to have them in self-watering. And they are some of the few plants that I have to keep the reservoir full. I mean, I have to keep it with water because they do not like to dry out. So it just depends. It really just depends on the plants. I have done a little bit of research on self-watering pots because I've heard some people say that plants can still develop root rot from, I guess, maybe the plant taking up too much moisture. What I have learned is that the plant kind of knows how much moisture to take up. So that's really I'm not really concerned about my plants taking up too much water. I feel like um, the plant itself, kind of knows what it needs. But to be on the safe side, like I said, I don't rush and refill. I touch the substrate and kind of see what the plant is feeling like and looking like, and that determines how often I refill. So this is I think this is a 5 inch. And so I got some bigger ones because I have some bigger plants that I want to pot up. So I have these. I also got these from Amazon. These are 7 inch. This is that. And of course it comes with the wick. The wicks, I don't know where they're at, where I put them. See y'all, I'm telling y'all. But this is what the outer pot looks like. Should have done all this before I started the video. So that's what the outer pot looks like. And of course, this is the inner pot. And like I said, this is 7 inches. And I like it because it holds a good amount of water. I love that. Okay. So now I'm going to show you the substrate that I'm going to use. Now, I'm not real picky when it comes to substrate. I've used like so many different kinds of potting mix. I've used, is it Annie's? Is it called Annie's? I've used that one. I've used Fox Farm, of course. I've made my own. So I'm not gonna say potting mix matters, doesn't matter, because it does. But kind of like at the end of the day, I mean, you just kind of have to do what you feel is best or what's gonna work for you. So this is what I'm using right now. I am using this is cocoa, peat, and perlite. And the brand is Soil Sunrise. And I got this off of Amazon. I can't remember how much I paid for it. It wasn't that much though. And this is 8 quarts. So if you're interested in any of these things that I'm showing you, just let me know down in the comments and I can provide a link for you. But yeah, so this is just cocoa, peat, and perlite. And I've also been using this. I used to use the, what is the brand? The real chunky bark that comes with the charcoal and the perlite already mixed in. I think it's called Special. Oh my goodness, I can't remember. I'll insert a picture. But to me, that bark, that orchid bark is just too big. I feel like the pieces are just too big. And so I don't really care for that. So I've been loving this. Because this mix doesn't have a whole lot of perlite in it. And so this kind of makes up for it. And then I also use these organic worm castings. I just add that for, just some organic nutrition, if you will. So that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to show you how I mix it up. Y'all, I am so sleepy. Can you tell? When it's hot like this, you just want to just be laying out somewhere cool. watching a good movie on TV. Now this is probably gonna be blowing because I got to have this fan on. It is so hot out here. But that's what it looks like. It's very light and airy. Because I want something that has good drainage, but also it has to have good moisture retention. And to me, I feel like this serves the purpose. Okay, so then I'm gonna add this, some of this. Y'all can see. I'm just kind of adding it. I don't really. Ooh, see, I got dust in my eye. And I just kind of mix it until it, it's looking like what I feel like it should be looking like, if that makes sense. Okay. I should have already had this mixed up. Okay, so see, that's what it's looking like so far. So I'm gonna add more of this. I'm just kind of mixing it up with this. See, now it's looking more like how I like it to look. Yes, this is a baking pan. Okay, so that's what it's looking like. And it's very airy. It's very light, and I like that. See? Okay, so now I'm gonna add some of these worm castings. It says they're supposed to improve water retention and soil structure, and it's not supposed to burn your plants, and it says it's suitable for all plants. So I only have a little bit left, so I'm just gonna add the rest. So this is kind of what it's looking like. And so I'm gonna mix this in. Okay, so there we go. This is what I'm gonna be using today. So the first plant I want to repot is I think I'm gonna do this one. Now this, I don't think I have shown you all this particular Aglaonema. This is a newer one. This is called the honey mint or lemon mint. Of course I'm gonna put the name on the screen because I'm not for sure. It's honey lemon or honey mint or something like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this one in self-watering. I'm not liking this spot on the leaf because sometimes that can be an indication of overwatering, which I haven't done with this plant. I mean, I haven't even had it that long. So I'm gonna check the roots because actually I think this is the potting mix. It is. This is the potting mix that the plant came in. So I'm gonna move this out of the way for right now. Please don't let me knock this over. Wait a minute. I have so much stuff over here on the floor, y'all. Okay. I don't always wear gloves, but I'm gonna wear gloves today just because this is a newer plant. And sometimes you just never know what's in the potting mix. Okay, so I'm just gonna dump the old into this trash bag. I just kind of open it up and just have it open and ready. Okay, so plant number one. All right. Okay, the potting mix doesn't look that bad. Looks like so far the roots are looking pretty decent. You do see the green fertilizer beads. So it probably doesn't need any fertilizer right now. And see, that's kind of what I was thinking may have been occurring with the Fox Farm. That is a very rich soil, or potting mix is very rich. And so I don't know if it was maybe too rich for some of my plants, but I still think it's an excellent potting mix. You might just need to cut it with something else. So the roots look really good. I got this from an Etsy seller. Well, it does have just a little bit of rotting, but not, well, wait a minute, maybe I spoke too soon, y'all. Yeah, it does have some root rot, a little bit, but it's not bad, but some of the roots are coming off. So that is probably why, yeah. Y'all seeing that? So that's probably why it has that spot on the leaf, because some of the roots have gone bad. So yep, so it did have root rot. Y'all can see that. It doesn't smell, so it's not really a really bad case. But I'm glad I decided to go ahead and repot this one. And so I kind of just gently work through the roots, and just to see if any more would just kind of slough off. Because if they're healthy roots, obviously they're not just going to be coming off. So see, I think maybe what could have happened, I think whatever happened was probably going on before the plant came to me, because like I said, I'm not an overwaterer. So I think the rest of these roots are looking pretty good. Let's see. Yep. Okay, so this is what's left. So see how I'm like moving the roots? I'm not being rough with them. Just kind of moving them around and make sure they're firm and, well, this piece just came off. To make sure they're, firm and healthy. So yeah, this is what's left. All right, so now I kind of feel like this pot is kind of, well, I'm going to use it anyway. It's not too big, right? It's not too bad. At least I won't have to worry about repotting it for a while. So I'm going to put it in this one. And I want to show y'all if I can find the wicks. I don't know where I did with the wicks, y'all. I kind of need them. Let me see. Hold on, y'all, real quick. I had to take those gloves off. My hands are sweating. And okay, so this is how you do the wick. Now this particular one, you can see it has like one hole that's like larger than the others. So there are some that you kind of loop them through and then you have two pieces coming down. But this one is not designed that way. And it really doesn't matter. Both ways work. So now where did I do with the outer pot? Y'all. Okay. Here it is. So I kind of put it to where the wick is like that, where I know that, you know, it's gonna wick up the water. Okay, and so this is how much is like up at the top. So what I like to do, let me show you. Okay. Y'all, wait a minute. Okay, some more. Okay, so you can see that's how much potting mix is at the bottom. I'll say it's about 1/4 of the way full. And so here's the wick. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of this systemic. And I like to do it this way because when it's down, when it's like worked really good into the potting mix, I know that the plant is gonna absorb it. I'm just kind of sprinkling a little bit. So that's what it's looking like. I don't know if you can see it. And I sit the wick on top like this, okay? Because I want to make sure that as much of the roots as possible touch the wick. That's just how I prefer to do it. Okay, so it's like that. So I'm gonna sit the plant, and I kind of like to spread the roots out a little bit. This is just how I like to do it. So see, the way that I have it is, you see how the roots are sitting like right on top of the wick, okay? And I just do that to ensure that as much root as possible is touching the wick. And that may not even be necessary, okay? But that's just the way that I like to do it. Okay, so it's also a good depth as far as being down in the pot. So now I'm gonna start to fill it. And let me know down in the comments, is repotting something? I know a lot of people like to watch repots, especially if they have a lot of plant chores to do. Y'all see at this point, I'm just using my hand because this little thing is just not doing it. So let me just stop the bouginess and just do it how I normally do it with my hand. Okay, so I'm just filling it up. I kind of got it over here to the side because this is where the pan is, and I'm trying not to make a mess. And that is what it's looking like, y'all. So then what I do is I take these. Now I like these because there's another kind, acrylic stake, that's pointy at the end. But you got to be careful with the pointy one because you don't want to damage the root system. And I just very gently just kind of do this to make sure that I'm working uh, the potting mix like in between the roots so it doesn't have like a lot of gaps. I'm just doing this very gently, and then I kind of do this. And of course, I'm going to saturate this plant because this mix is very dry. And that's another thing. If you have enough aeration in your mix, even if the plant does take up a lot of water, still the plant is going to be okay, because you see that all the perlite and the bark that I have in it, that improves the aeration. So I am happy with the way this plant is looking. So I'm going to take it to the sink. I'm going to rinse all of this off so it's nice and clean. I'm going to rinse off the leaves and all that good stuff. So that is plant number 1. Okay. I also have this Aglaonema that's newer as well that I don't think you all have seen. This is the Aglaonema, I think it's 10 carat, or is it 20 carat? Maybe it's 20 carat. Look, it's either 10 or 20 carat. I'll put it on the screen. But I don't even know why I put this plant in this pot, in this type of self-watering pot. I don't like it. Okay, I feel like the reservoir is not deep enough, and I feel like the pot is not deep enough, and I just don't like how this is looking. Now, this substrate, I put this plant in this substrate, and this is good substrate. So this is more like the cocoa core pieces, but I ran out of that potting mix, so I'm gonna reuse this because there's nothing wrong with this. Okay, so once again, I'm gonna put the wick through. Okay, y'all, I think after this one we gonna call it a wrap. I know y'all like, Chula, what's wrong with you today? I'm sleepy and I'm tired, and to be honest, it's hot out here. And I'm ready to be done. Okay, so I probably will have to add a little bit more substrate at the bottom. Add in just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit more. Ooh, stuff is flying in my face. See, I need to be doing this like early in the morning when it's still cool. Because when I do it at this hour, it's like I have to have the fan on. And as you can see, it's blowing this potting mix in my face. I'm not for sure if I treated this plant already, but it's gonna get treated again. I'm just gonna put a little bit. Okay. Once again, you see how I did my wick. So I am using my potting mat. I don't know if y'all can see it. So I'm just gonna dump this. Yeah, see, this is some, actually I could have used this wick. Well, so see, this is some good mix. This is kind of like what the substrate is looking like. So yes, I'm gonna reuse this one. Because we don't waste stuff around here. If I can reuse it, it's gonna get reused. Okay, so the roots are still looking good. Has a nice root system. Okay, and I want this one to be further down into the pot because Aglaonema have the tendency to look leggy, like really quick. Like Aglaonema, if they lose like 1 or 2 leaves, you got a leggy, stalky, stemmy situation. And I just personally just don't care for that. So I just put a little bit of the potting mix at the bottom. And once again, sitting the roots right on top. Have them kind of spread out, but they're right on top of the wick. And so, like I said, I'm going to be reusing this mix. This is some good mix. I can't even remember where I got this from. I'm pretty sure I ordered it from Amazon, but look at that. This is some good stuff. Actually, I like this better than what I'm using. I gotta find out where I got this from. I know I ordered it from Amazon. Or did I? No, you know where I think I got this from? I think I got this from Canopy Plant Co. Because I like their aeroid mix and I like BWH. I like their potting mix as well. I think I've even used potting mix from Gabriella Plants. I think I like that too. So see, I'm almost finished filling it in. I'll use the rest of this. So as you can see, repotting is not hard. I just don't like to do it. Because I make such a mess and then I got to be sweeping the floor and just picking all this stuff up. But it's a very necessary and important part of plant care. So then I'm going to take this and kind of work it through the roots very gently. It may not look like I'm being gentle, but I am being gentle. And I'm just doing this. You see, she is good to go. She cute. I don't like when their leaves stand up like that though. I like when they, you know, they look uptight. If y'all know what I'm trying to say. I like for them to kind of, you know, relax. Relax. You know? But she just like, she's like uptight. Like, it's okay. Calm down. It's going to be all right. Shula going to take good care of you. Okay. Add a little bit more. I done ran out of the other one that she came in. So the one I just mixed up, I'm just adding a little bit more on top. So there we have it, folks. I'm going to do the same thing, give this a thorough watering, and I'm going to clean off the leaves. Now, this is an Aglaonema that I don't think I've shown you all. This is a newer one as well. This is called the Donatello. Yes, is it Donatello or Donatello? This is a newer one, and as you can see, I've already repotted. Um, but this is a really nice looking Aglaonema. It looks actually very similar to the one I just showed you. The camouflage. They look very similar, don't they? Except the camouflage to me has a little bit more of the green variegation, and this one has more silver in it. But yeah, this is beautiful Aglaonema. And another one that is newer that I have not shown you all is this one. I got this from an Etsy seller. This is called the Black Pink or Pink Black. I know, like, what kind of name is that? I mean, y'all couldn't have thought of something else. And I'm like, where does the black come in at? But anyway, that's what kind it is. I actually am going to repot this one as well. Do I want to do that right now? This video gonna be long, y'all, if I repot this one. Because I want it to be in self-watering. Yeah, I want it to be in self-watering. I don't know if I repotted this one or not. I think I did. I think this is one of the mixes that I've used. So it looks good. So I'm going to reuse it. And y'all, that's a good thing about having decorative pots. Now, you know, I know we all have our opinions on pots. And I've heard some people say, I don't like when people use just white pots. It's just look, well, I mean, you know, to each his own. Like, I don't see anything wrong. If that's what you want to use, that's what you want to use. I think some people, they use all white pots. They probably do it just so that the plant itself can get all of the attention, you know. Because when you got a busy looking pot, it be busy, you know, it can kind of sometimes take away from the plant itself sometimes. Now, I have seen some people that the way they combine their plants with their pots is like really cute. But some people don't, they just don't know how to do it. They just be doing too much. But what you can do is you can always put the pot down into another pot. Boom. Boom. There you go. So you can do that too. If you don't like the way this looks, just put it down inside another pot. And it's just that simple. Okay, so since y'all really want me to, you know, since y'all just bugging me, I'm just kidding. I will go ahead and repot this one too. Now, I don't know if, I gotta see how long these roots are and what they looking like. So this is kind of what I like to do if I can. I kind of squeeze the pot to loosen up the substrate. And you see it's coming out very easily. Yep, this is some good substrate, so I'm gonna reuse this. Unless, the only time I don't reuse is, of course, if there's root rot. And because, you know, root rot is, I think it has some bacterial stuff going on. And so you wouldn't want to reuse the substrate on another plant. Okay, so yep, these roots look good. But look at that. Y'all see that root, the way it's doing? I think that's more like maybe an aerial root. And look at this one. Because I want this to sit down kind of far down into, yeah, I think it'll work. It's going to be just a little bit stalky looking, but I really want it to be in self-watering. So I'm going to put it in this one. Same thing. Oops. So what y'all been doing this summer? Those of y'all that have kids, are you glad to have your kids at home for the summer? Y'all, excuse me. I think that's why so many parents, boy, they be having camp set up, they be having swimming lessons, summer camp, all kinds of stuff to keep the kids busy, and vacations and stuff. My husband not too long ago started a job, so I think we won't be going anywhere till maybe later on this year. He has family. Well, we have family, I should say, in New York. Shout out to my peeps in New York. Hola, mi gente. So yeah, we're gonna go, maybe try to go later on this year. So, yep, treating this with some systemic. Okay. So, like I said, the roots look good. Just making sure. Now, I try not to bother the roots too much because you don't want to like damage the whole root system. I know sometimes it's hard when they have those baskets that are around the roots, or there's like a netting sometimes that's around the roots. You have to be careful removing that because you don't want to damage the root system too much. Sometimes it just can't be helped, but I really try not to mess with the roots too much. And one day I'm gonna have to show y'all how I repot my begonia. I don't mess with the roots at all. Okay, I just take it out of one pot and put it in another because their roots are so fine and fragile. And okay, so this one is like, it's kind of hard to kind of manipulate these roots, so I think it's kind of good like that. Is what they looking like. And so, yep, putting it right on top of the wig like I've been doing. And so that's what it's looking like. And I'm just going to, what y'all call it, backfill or, oh, excuse me. You know what? This, I'm going to add a little bit. This mix is kind of like really moist. So I'm going to add some of this dry one that I'm sorry, I know y'all probably can't see what I'm doing. But I'm mixing some of the mix that I just mixed up. If I say mix one more time. Because this mix is kind of, it's really damp. It's not too bad, but. So, yep, that's what I'm doing. And that's really like all I do. Like I don't do anything special when I repot. I really don't. I kind of feel like if you've seen one repot, you done seen them all. Well, you know what? That is not true. I guess I should not say that. I don't know. To be honest, I try to support some repotting videos, but that is typically like not the kind of video I'm just gonna run to watch. Like I'm never gonna feel like, oh, a repotting video, you know, let me watch it. I mean, I will watch them, don't get me wrong, but it's not like the type of videos that I like to see, that I like to watch. I love plant tours. Okay, I love houseplant tours. That's like my number one type of video that I like the most. I love to see how people style their plants, where they have them at in their homes. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm nosy. I like to see what people's houses look like. You know, back in the day when it first came out, I used to watch House Hunters back to back to back. I loved me some House Hunters because I love to see like, and I really love the ones where they showed footage of how the house looked once they bought it and the changes that they made. I just love it. I just love to look to see how people design and have their houses and stuff. So I like to watch plant tours. I also like to watch plant update videos where people kind of walk through their collections and kind of update you on what's going on. Plant hauls, I'll watch them. You know, I'm not gonna say I love those either, but I will watch them. But yeah, plant tours, updates. And you know what? I don't even really care for. Now I will, if you notice, it's been a while since I've done a plant shopping video, but I know a lot of people like those type of videos. So that's why I try to do them, because obviously if that's what your plant family is liking, you know, you want to kind of give them what they want to see. But that's not a type of video that I'm going to typically run to watch either. Sometimes I will, just to know, like, because really, well, you know what I was about to say, if you've been to one Home Depot and Lowe's, you've been to the mall, but that's not really true. Because I have watched some influencers and I'll be like, how come my Lowe's don't have that type of selection? How come my Home Depot, you know, so, you know, there are some differences. So this one is done. I don't know if I like how that's looking though, because I still feel like a lot of this is showing. So I don't know. I might have to rethink this one. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it like that. I just don't like how that looks. So what I might do, I might see if I can find a pot. I might just reuse this pot. That's probably what I'll do. And then I'll probably try to find another pot with no drainage, or you know, something, and sit it down in it, because I don't like how that looks. You see that? It may not bother some of you, but I just don't like that. Like, I would like for it to be, you know, at least this deep. Okay. So yeah, I gotta find another setup for this one, but yeah, I'll probably do this one over. So y'all, that is it. Let me show you this one more Aglaonema that I don't know if I have shown you all yet. But I just think it's so cute, and I just like the name. I mean, the name is cute. It's called Pinkie Pie. Isn't that cute, y'all? This is Miss Pinkie, okay? This is Aglaonema Pinkie Pie. Ain't she cute? And her name is Pinkie Pie. Like, that is just the cutest little name. Where did I get this one from? I know I got it off of Etsy. Okay, I'm gonna say 75% of my plants I get from an Etsy seller. If it's not from Etsy, I haven't bought any plants on eBay in a long time. So I would say 75% is Etsy, and the other 25% is either gonna be, I like Plant Proper, I like BWH Plants, and I like Canopy Plant Co., as well as Gabriella Plants. So if they're not from Etsy, it's gonna be from one of those. Okay. But this is Miss Pinkie Pie, and see, I have her sitting in this cute little pink pot. So even though she's in this white, and this is self-watering, I can sit her down into this pot, and you don't even know that she's in a white pot. So it's all preference, you know, whatever you like, however you like your plants to look. But Miss Pinkie Pie sure is looking cute. Okay, y'all, if you've made it to the end of this long repotting video, I appreciate you. I'm sorry that I'm not the usual lively chula, silly chula that you usually see. But you know, I tried today because I really needed to get some of these plants repotted. So I hope you enjoyed it. I already know that a lot of you like to see this video, but if you are new and you like this type of content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And I want to remind you all to please hit the notification button. Okay, hit the notification button. Hit that button. Okay, so you know when I upload a new plantee video. Okay. And check me out on Instagram. I need to post on Instagram. It's been a while since I have posted on Instagram. But I am on Instagram, so check me out over there too. All right, so y'all take care. Stay cool. Thank you once again for your support. Take care, and until the next time. Hooked on houseplants, y'all. Bye. Say bye, Pinkie. Bye, y'all.